So this already happened a while back, but the channel hit 2,000. Yes, after what, 4 years? Yes, we got to 2,000. Oh boy, that was not work putting out 1,000 videos and more. Anyway, so it's a long, long trek. So if you are an old subscriber, you know that once upon a time, and we will go back to this, the focus was on Game of Thrones. That was the main focus initially of the channel, and fantasy and the fandoms associated with. And then I moved over to some Dune content, and some of the Dune content did very well, and I'll try to get back to that. And then I got into reporting on true crime and cults. That brought us to Scientology. That's probably where a lot of subscribers are focused on, and I'll have to continue serving that audience. Usually the celebrations with 2,000, 5,000, 10,000. You do an MAA or whatever. I'm not really set up for that, and I am getting overwhelmed with some life stuff. So this will be a relatively shorter video than I usually put out. But I want it to be substantive and not waste people's time. And there's another video that will come out sort of announcing some projects, so I don't want to copy too much what that video will show. I will just focus on some things I can kind of promise, half promise what will happen in the future or near future. So let's deal with Aaron, because obviously Aaron's one of the biggest topics here, good or bad. And one of the complaints that I sometimes get is, why aren't you focused on that? Why are you focusing on Aaron's? What are going on there, Osa's? And also so on and so forth. If you're just jumping in, totally new person, you're like, Osa? What's that? Well, again, if you look at Aaron's content, for a while, he's doing it less and less whenever he got criticized for how he was covering Scientology or representing anti-Scientology, though I think at this point, there's not really any anti-Scientology he does. He's just promoting himself. As a celebrity, he would blame it on OSA, a kind of secret faction within Scientology. Well, listen, most recently, he's just striking a lot of channels. I think he struck Knife Hoarder, even though Knife Hoarder mainly does stuff on Relatable Reese. Oh, and by the way, if you had told me I would be focused a lot on Relatable Reese even a year ago, I would have told you you're crazy. I mean, like, didn't really do much on Reese, but a lot of things have been going on with her channel that are just crazy. Her jumping back and forth with various factions and allegiances, rebranding the channel. So yeah, it's pretty crazy over there. Well, again, listen, as long as Aaron is creating a current controversy, which I'm covering as a part of covering cults and true crime, then, it is what it is. Like, we know for a fact it is him, because when you put a claim to do a copyright strike, your name will appear. Like, their channel name will show up. And that is his channel. It is what it is. Again, I don't have a lot of good things to say about Nora or her channel, but she showed it, and it does seem legit. So yeah, Aaron is going after her channel. Well, that's a controversy, and that's what I'm covering in these things. I'm also going to do some political content too, so fair warning if you don't like that. It's fine. Listen, I am serving multiple audiences. Some audiences will like certain videos. You'll not like the other videos, but I want to have a very eclectic brew. So I will have some stuff prepared for, I guess, the older audience with fantasy, George R.R. Martin, Stephen King, things like that. And let me get to kind of a format or series I want to do a little bit more on. Now, if you go to my other channels, I usually do this a little bit more routinely, sort of reacting and covering other YouTubers. One of the ones I like covering and making fun of is John Campea, because I'm a big Snyder fan, and Campea has done some pretty extensive lying, but that's not what the thing is. One of the people I'm going to be covering more extensively is the Birdman. Now, the Birdman is a little curious because he is also a little bit all over the place. His main thing has been to put out a series of videos making fun of CinemaSins. If you don't know who CinemaSins is, CinemaSins is literally one of the biggest movie channels, period. Now, it doesn't really do movie reviews. What CinemaSins does is just make these snarky comments about alleged flaws in a movie. Again, most people don't take it seriously. It's just a parody. So Birdman decided to do a parody of a parody. And so what he does is fact check and get a lot of things right that CinemaSins gets wrong. And there's some mutual interest because Birdman is a big fan of Dune. He's a big science fiction person. He really likes Blade Runner, so on and so forth. Usually what Birdman does is try to sync up his review to a current CinemaSins review. And listen, he has his own distinct style, so I don't want to just copycat what he does. So I'll try to go back and forth I'll probably be going back and forth between Birdman proper and CinemaSins, because Birdman puts out his own reviews. I agree with a lot of what he says, but I disagree a lot. In fact, he just does This other series of videos making fun of these grifters as well as conspiracy theorists, I'm a little bit more mixed there. I like some of those people. I think he's also not getting their argument correct. It'll be a little bit back and forth, but there will be Birdman-centric videos coming ahead. They are on the other channels too, by the way. So if you want kind of a preview or at least some samples of what you'll expect, they're on the other channels. Again, I'll probably try to do a more distinct format for this channel, but we'll have to wait and see. So I'll be doing some of those videos. I'll also be doing some more kind of eclectic videos as well. It's a lot of different little things I'll be working on. But yes, obviously, if you're here for the Aaron, Mike Rinder aftermath, Zero Dark Tony, like it's just a lot of personalities and a lot of conflicts. I'll still be covering those things, so you don't have to worry. But please try to give those other videos a chance. So thank you for the 2,000 subs. If you're not a sub, please give it a chance. Please consider supporting the channel through channel memberships, and I will see you later. Please be safe.